Welcome back to TribPreps video. Back after week 2 in Wisconsin high school football season this year. I'm Todd Sommerfeldt, sports editor. Eric Lee, sports reporter here. We got 2 very different games tonight. We're going to get to a little bit to everything else that happened as well, but we'll talk mainly about the games we were at. I was over in Onalaska. I saw Edgar come up with a 12-7 win over the Hilltoppers tonight. Might be a little surprise to some people, despite the quality of program Edgar has. A Division 7 team coming in and beating a Division 3 team. You were down in Viroqua watching Aquinas beat Viroqua 48-13.
Yep.
Other games tonight, Blair Taylor beat Whitehall 18-14. Pepin Alma beat Melmin 21-0. River Valley beat Prairie du Chien 35-8. River Ridge took away that promising start Luther had last week with a 44-0 win there. So we'll start with the game I was at.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, might be a surprise to some in terms of the way it went. But Edgar played that well, especially in the second half. Onalaska missed on some opportunities in the first half. They had 3 early possessions that started inside Edgar's 40-yard line, and they came up with nothing on those. So that hurt, kind of put them behind an 8 ball there. Yeah. We had a scoreless first half. Edgar scored a couple of touchdowns after that. Onalaska got a late one, and Edgar ran out the clock. But if you're Onalaska, you're walking away thinking a lot about missed opportunities, making some mistakes at bad times. If you're Edgar, you're walking away saying, we just beat a Division 3 team.
Right.
And that's not an opportunity you get very much in terms of playing schools that much bigger than you. Schedules fill up, you play a lot of schools your own size. Mm-hmm. So it was a real opportunity for Edgar, and they came in and took it.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds like you talk about missed opportunities and mistakes. It sounds like you said there was even a reverse they got called back. Like, it was a touchdown they got called back.
Yeah, they had a reverse that was good for a touchdown. It came back on a flag for a holding call. They had a halfback option play that was perfect. It was all set up. A throw to Landon Peterson, who made a dive for the ball and went just past his fingers. So they just missed on that. Aiden Larson missed kind of badly on a throw down the middle. Had a wide open receiver to hit, and that would have been a big gain. If not, could have been a score there too. Sure. So they missed out on all 3 of those chances, and it really hurt them in the end.
Yeah, and when you turn the ball over 4 times too, that's going to kill you, and that's what happened to Viroqua. I mean, part of it too was Aquinas was just simply the better team tonight, but it was a much different game than a 12-7 score only in the second half. Aquinas grabbed
first play, right?
First play, Jackson Flotmeyer, first play from scrimmage, connects with Quinn Miskowski on a 50-plus yarder down the sideline, and Miskowski just ran right by his guy, and Flotmeyer hit him right in stride. I mean, it was he played pretty much exactly or up to whatever standard they were going to hold him to.
As I said, as a sophomore.
Yeah, as a sophomore. They had high expectations going in, and he, in my opinion, met them. I have him at 10 for 12 for 159 yards and 3 touchdowns. And
pretty good night.
Yeah, especially considering the 2 incompletions that he had were guys that were open streaking down the field, and he maybe just overthrew them just a little bit. Okay. So he could have been potentially 12 for 12 with another couple touchdowns.
Tell us about Will Cambio.
Yeah, he was fantastic too. He ran the ball only 9 times, but for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also returned a kickoff for 85 yards. That came after Viroqua's only score of the first half. They set the tone in all 3 phases of the game, and Tom Lee was super happy about that. But I think it's an interesting thing after watching Aquinas, pound the ball last year, and now they've got a quarterback and they can spread it out. They were in the shotgun and spread all night tonight.
Okay.
And they were pretty balanced. I mean, they still gained more yards on the ground than they did through the air, but it was, like I said, when you're throwing for 159 yards, they ran for 209. So I mean, it's right there. Yeah. So a great start for the Blue Golds to the season.
And I bet Tom Lee was a little excited about that.
He was very pleased. He was very pleased. said that might as well have Flotmeyer just go and hand the ball to the receivers because that's how talented this kid is.
Yeah.
So they're excited.
Yeah.
They're excited.
Different feel. Onalaska was definitely disappointed after that loss. It was a game that, like I said, had they made some plays early, it wouldn't have been a tight one at the end, I don't think. They did a great job in the first half of shutting down Edgar's running game. But Edgar got it going in the second half a little more. They had -8 rushing yards in the first half. They had 24 total yards in the first half. But they were able to move the ball. And the things that hurt Edgar ended up not hurting him. They lost a fumble. In the very next play, Onalaska fumbled it right back to him. Onalaska blocked a field goal. And 2 plays later, fumbled the ball right back to him. So anytime Onalaska, kind of tried to get something going, it was a good drive that they had, the touchdown drive. Romero ended that with a touchdown run for just a yard.
But it was a long drive though, right?
But it was a 99-yard drive. Converted a 4th down or 2 along the way. There's a pass interference call that helped him out as well. But Romero scored that touchdown to get him within the final margin with 2:28 left, and they didn't touch the ball again because Edgar was able to get a couple of first downs and just run out that clock. So it was exactly the way Onalaska didn't want it to go tonight. But again, you have to keep in mind they're playing Edgar, and that's a team. Those kids are used to winning, and they're used to playing in lots of big games. And you can say all you want about the difference in division. The Edgar kids were absolutely ready for this game, and got better as the game went along. And that's what helped them pick up a big win that they don't get many chances to get. So it was a great effort for them. Tommy Shinsky just said his team was not up to the challenge and up to playing. So
and you've got to be against a program like
you
that.
have to, yes, absolutely. So hopefully next week we'll have more games to talk about. We might have some teams starting up that haven't played yet. We'll wait and see. We thought we would have a Toma game today, and it got canceled mid-afternoon. So we'll try to get you ready for that with another video next week, and we'll talk about some of the games that are coming up then. So we will see you then. Thanks for joining us tonight.